Yo, what is up YouTube? My name is Ronan. I am the producer WRLD, and today I'm going to teach you basically just how to build a beat, the beginning steps of how to build a beat. And to be honest with you, you only need one thing. It's a computer. The great thing about what I use, which is GarageBand, I'm not sure about FL, I'm not sure about Logic or Ableton, but basically with GarageBand, you can use the keyboard. It actually shows you exactly what kind of keys you're hitting too, which is great. For instance, here this would be A5. Give me one moment. I'm not even recording. Okay, so now you can see my screen. I do apologize for that. So right here, this is C, right? You can see it. This would be E, or E minor, sorry. And then you have D minor. Right? So you can see exactly what chord you're playing. What makes it even easier, though, is if you have a MIDI. It just comes in handy just because you can actually play on the keyboard and you can play with the pads versus, using your keys, which can be difficult at times. Let's get right into it, right? So we're going to do a simple Juice WRLD progression. Juice WRLD, the most common Juice WRLD progression is your root key, right? Then you go to your 6-step, 3-step, 7-step. So A minor is our root. Then we go up to the 6th step, which is the F chord. Then we go down to the 3-step, which is that'd be a C chord. Then we go to the 7th step, which is the G chord. Now, let's throw that on the beat and see what it sounds like. So let's hear this back. Speed it up a little bit. That's it. So that's going to be our basic progression. I always start with your main melody or your main progression just because it makes everything else easier. Some people start with, your drums, your kicks, your hi-hats. I don't like doing that just because it makes everything sound smoother, in my opinion, for me, when I start with the main progression. Next, I start with an I add an upper melody. The upper melody, actually, real quick, I'm going to add a 3rd chord on these. Now that we have that, upper melody for me, in most of my Juice WRLD beats, is basically just the lower melody, or the main chords being hit, which would be A, F, G, and C. I said that in the wrong order. C comes before G, but you get what I'm saying. I use those as my main upper melody. And then I just drag it up an octave. And basically it just makes everything sound a little smoother. Boom. Simple as that. Now, let's go to our lower melody. You don't have to have a lower melody, to be honest with you. You can kind of make your lower melody your counter melody. Do whatever you please, honestly. But I'm going to add a little lower melody here. Now, remember, when you understand that you can use A, C, F, and G, right? So these are your chords you can use. And you know they're never, ever going to clash. Now, I'm still learning music theory, so go use the internet. It's a great tool. All you got to do is type in there, root chord is A minor. It will tell you everything you can and can't use with that chord. I'm not a music theory major. I'm not a, expert. For me, using the internet is very, very helpful. I'm going to do just real simple. What I'm doing here with my melody, it's basically a common, there's a few different ways to build a melody. What I'm doing here is where you repeat that melody 3 times, and then on that 4th one, you are switching it up a little bit. Something is changing. You could do a common format for your melody where it's first version, second version, first version, second version. What I mean by that is like, I'll just show you. It'd basically be that first, and then instead of repeating that again, you maybe go like that. I'm basically going to do the format where this repeats 3 times, and then on that 4th one, that's when you make a difference. I'm gonna add a little cut. Listen up, listen up. This is fine. You want to make this sound better? Now, you add your counter melody. Your counter melody is basically going to be just filling in the gaps. So like you're filling in the gaps to where the melody wasn't playing. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a pad. What a pad basically does is a pad is gonna enhance those hits, right? So each time the key hits on that progression, you basically want to add a pad. All right, and that's basically it, right? That is your melody. What we're gonna do now is what I like to basically call rhythm. It's the drums, it's the kicks, it's the bass, it's the snares, it's the hi-hats. I like to start with just a basic kick, or snare, sorry. Basic snare pattern every half bar. This would be 1 bar. I'm gonna do every half bar, right? Now a snare can be, you know, your average, or it could be your clap. Wait. Alright, I'm going to do a clap, because Juice WRLD, I feel like the clap fits it more. You could do a snare, but I feel like for Juice WRLD, that's it. Don't make it harder than that. You know, just put your snares in. You can mess with them later. Move on to your kicks now. That's the fun part, right? That's where the music really comes alive. That's it. That's it right there, boys and girls. That is the drum pattern. All right, now we're gonna go to hi-hats, right? Hi-hats, again, whatever you're feeling, but hi-hats, you could do one of 2 ways here. You could just do it the whole time, or you could do a little, like just like, you know, keeping the tempo, because that's what the hi-hats do. They are the tempo keepers. That's it right there. That's second half I'm going to use. The first half was a little rough. I was trying to find where I was at with it, but that second is exactly what you need. Now I'm gonna add in some rolls here, because Juice WRLD does have some rolls in his hi-hats. You could do more. In another video, I absolutely will. If you guys want to see more of this, I absolutely will go deeper. In later videos, we can always go into that stuff. So, I definitely want to do an automation video. I love automating. I love plugins, all of that good stuff. So, if you want to see that, please let me know. Now, I'm going to add a basic sub. I feel like Juice WRLD, he's always a sub guy. So, yeah, I'm going to turn the sustain up, release. Right there, maybe. Alright, perfect. Now, what I suggest, you record this in a high octave, higher than what you want it to be. And second thing, keep the volume higher than you want it to be, right? You want to be able to hear this and what it would sound like if it was too loud. And then you can always reduce it, by all means. If you want to record these main chords again, do it. But that's all you need. The bass is basically just meant to add that emotion, or not the emotion, add that deep feel to the melody, to the vibe. You don't really want to go crazy. You absolutely can in different genres. With a Juice WRLD or just, your basic fundamental, don't go crazy with it. Keep it the main chords. You'll hear it. Ready? So right here, I feel like I need to go up to G. Just whatever you feel. Maybe a little early. Right here, I'm gonna go up. Again, don't make it crazy. Whatever you're feeling. That's it. That's the bass right there. Now, the only thing you need, and you can start organizing, guys. This is it. This is the final step, other than automation and plugins, which kind of makes everything just there. You need an extra counter here. So what I mean by that is your first verse is gonna go da-na, 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 and then you hear how it's gonna switch. You need another melody, a counter, or some sort of secondary melody that is coming in there on that verse. I'm gonna do exactly what I just kind of said there. I liked it. So we're gonna use this synth to add that secondary melody. So it's gonna sound like. That was it right there. That was it. That's it, guys. That is how you make a beat. That's how I make a beat, at least. I really do hope this helped. Just to go over it one more time, you can add more stuff, but the main things you really need is your basic chord progression right here. I like to go upper, then lower, then you have your main counter melody, and then you're filling in the spaces with a secondary counter melody. I'm not a technical guy, so I could be saying all these terms wrong, crazy different meanings, whatever. If you understand, though, what I'm trying to get at is you're basically, and this is the best way to explain it. I heard it from another guy. If I happen to find his channel, I will absolutely link it somewhere. He said that you're basically creating pockets, right? You're saying a call and response, and you're creating a little pocket in which you want to make something happen. That make something happen, to me, is a counter. Right, it's that little, like, you say something and then you counter it, and then you obviously have your response at the end. But yeah, I mean, that is basically how I envision this stuff. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to just pick up your computer and find a software. Again, GarageBand's free. I've been producing on GarageBand for probably 2 years plus now, and I've learned it all from using GarageBand, a very free, affordable, and useful software. So don't be afraid, guys. Do your thing. If you need to, watch this video over again, find out how I do it, and then hopefully that can help you get to where you need to be. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, really just helps out. I'm just all about trying to do my best to give back and help people. So if this really kept your entertainment and helped you get somewhere, then that's my job's done. So thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to keep making music and live on. Peace.